everybody, and welcome to another brand new episode of Topic
Thunder.
Here from the Top 10. I am John Roca.
And I am Matt Nost, and we are here to bring you another week of Topic Thunder. This is a show that we do for our patrons over at patreon.com/the top 10 with the number 10. They send in whatever questions, queries, topics, ideas they'd like us to discuss, and we discuss them. We don't know what they are beforehand. We just read them and answer. Yeah. That is the gist of this show.
Yeah, and I think we're starting off with Steve Smith. I think I start us off here, Matt. Is that correct?
I feel like okay. I think it's your turn.
Here we go, Steve Smith. He says, hi, John and Matt. I hope this question isn't too narrow, but I am a lifelong drummer, and I am curious to know, who are your favorite drummers? Also, do either of you have any experience playing drums or any drum-related stories or memories? I should add that the question above is in addition to John's bongo playing during the recap of the top 10 lists. Thanks, Steve Smith. All right. Go ahead, Matt.
I'm glad he beat me to it because you're number one in our hearts always.
Yeah, right. Okay.
That unnatural rhythm that you have on the bongos is a thing of beauty, my friend.
Sounds good to me. That's the sad part of it.
It's almost always in a proper beat. Yeah, it's just every once and again there's a slight stumble. It's just like I'm not sure what time signature that is, but okay, all right.
There's a reason I don't do it, man.
Yeah. You're more of a jazz drummer, you know?
Yes. You
keep odd time signatures. So
fusion jazz, absolutely.
Sure, they bring in that Latin flavor. I mean, I guess the easiest would be like Neil Peart or Buddy Rich.
Sure, Buddy Rich from the old days. Yeah. Gene Krupa.
Yeah, but I've watched I don't know how many clips of him.
Yeah,
just crushing it. I've gone down many a wormhole of just watching drummers on YouTube. Yeah. There was a time in my life where I wanted to play drums, and my parents, who were avid supporters of me playing instruments. I played the violin for 6 years. I played the trombone for 2-3 years.
Right.
I've played the guitar since I was 14. I still have a guitar. But when I got the guitar, I was like, I want drums. And my dad was like, I will get you any other instrument in the entire world than drums. And I was like, I really want drums, though. And he's like, any other instrument. Fair enough.
My God, son, please.
I mean, it's, you live in a house with 4 other people.
I mean,
yeah.
I get it.
There's only so much noise you can take.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always had, there's nothing better to me in a band than a great drummer.
Yeah.
Let's see, of like newer guys, I want to say his name is Larnell Lewis.
Okay.
He's a drummer for a band called Snarky Puppy, but you can find cool videos of him from Drumeo on YouTube, where there's one where he listens to Inner Sandman one time and then he plays it back and he gets it like 90% correct.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really impressive. And there's another one where they omit the drum track itself and he just listens to it's like a jazz fusion number.
Insane.
And he doesn't hear the drum track to it and he writes his own and takes notes as he's going, but he listens to it twice, makes notes, and then he sits down and plays it. And you're like, this is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think his name is Ben Thatcher on Royal Blood. I like him a lot.
Okay.
Trying to think who else. You got any?
Yeah, I mean, to me, I've never been like, oh my God, because obviously Ringo Starr for the Beatles. I mean, so much of what they do in that band is not possible without Ringo, and all of them have taken the time to make sure people understand that. And many drummers talk about how influential Ringo Starr was to them as drummers growing up, And then you've got John Badham over there before he passed away, of course. The dude for Def Leppard with the one arm. I mean, pretty incredible drumming that he did. I don't know his name, so I don't want to make a mistake and say the wrong name. And also just certain drum moments, right, in songs like the Tom Sawyer song. I mean, that drum. So I've watched many a video of people trying to do that drum line from Tom
That's
Sawyer.
Neil Peart.
Is it Neil Peart? That
That's
is
Neil
phenomenal.
Peart.
It's
He's
phenomenal. Dude.
For rock drummers, it's tough to get better than Neil Peart.
Yeah. Just that whole opening, man. And then what he does in the middle, man, just incredible, you know? So to me, those are the things I look at. Yeah, of course, Buddy Rich, Gene Krupa, there's those kind of legendary drummers and what have you. Phil Collins, certainly.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's a damn good drummer.
Damn good drummer, bro. And, you know, a guy who did not want to be a lead singer necessarily. And because Gabriel left, and they auditioned apparently a crap ton of people. He was one of the last people to even remotely consider it. And then came in and got the job. So, you know, you get those drummers. Don Henley is a fucking good drummer for the Eagles, certainly, and singer as well. And Dave Grohl, right? I mean, we'd be remiss.
Yeah, Dave Grohl is a good drummer.
Yeah. So there are quite a few, but I'm not an avid drummer, like knowledge person, but certainly I know from pop culture knowledge who the overall respect.
Yeah, you know,
right.
The drum fills and whatnot that you enjoy.
Exactly. Yeah.
Let's see, I don't know their names, but the dude from Tool and the guy from Dave Matthews Band are both excellent.
Oh yeah, right. Yes, the Dave Matthews. That's right. Yeah.
Well, that dude and the guy from Tool are really good.
Right.
And then let's see, I want to say his name is Dave Portnoy from Dream Theater.
Oh, okay.
He's really good.
Not the dude from Barstool. Okay, got it.
Or maybe it's a different something. I think it's something Portnoy. It is very similar. It's true.
That son of a bitch is great.
Slipknot's drummer. I don't listen to their music, but their drummer is good.
Right on.
I'm not against, you know, I don't give a shit. I can literally lock into a drummer. Like, so I went and saw Elvis, right?
Yeah.
And it reminded me of one time we went and saw a guy do the 68 comeback special live.
Not like
so
his version of it.
Yeah. But it's him in the black leather.
Right.
And he had a backing band.
Oof.
And it was, you know, something Catherine wanted to do. And I was like, sure, I'll go. I don't, you know, whatever. And she knew the theater owner.
Yeah.
So we had front row tickets. So this guy's literally dry rating his ass in front of my face. I'm not even kidding. Like 3 feet away from my face.
Easy.
Not enjoying it. So I just locked in on the drummer, who was excellent.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, this dude can keep a groove, man. It's really good.
Yeah.
And then let's see. I know a couple touring musicians, but one of which is Dwight Yoakam's drummer, and I've seen him live a couple times, so he's really good.
Okay.
Yeah, I like a good drummer, and there's nothing more disappointing to me than a bad drummer. It's like, you're fucking. The simplicity of this is so pedestrian. Come on.
Yeah.
You got to be better than this.
Well, it's funny you bring up Elvis because DJ Fontana is considered one of the greatest drummers as well. And he was Elvis's drummer in the early days, you know, and he came on to do a bunch of stuff after that. So he's one of those guys that people look at as one of the best drummers ever as well. So, yeah. So, I mean, those are interesting. Do you have any stories around drummers? Like anything that you've had any interactions or any kind of, like the question asks, any kind of weird situations or an experience playing drums or drum related stories?
Let's see, drum related stories or memories. I'm saying that really slowly to hopefully give myself a second to jog my memory. Oh, God, there's got to be, because I've seen a bunch of concerts, but I can't think of anything where I was absolutely flabbergasted or something.
Right. Well, here, let me take it while you think. I only have one. I never played drums, and I just, like you said, like I could never put my parents through that. I put them through enough. Me learning the drums would have been just too much to put them through. And we didn't have a garage where I could have hit out and did it. So it would have to have been in my bedroom, and that would not have worked. But I will say this: back in the old days of the late 1980s, I was a big fan of Bruce Hornsby and the Range, and I probably told this story before, so I'll tell it quickly. But John Mollo was the drummer at the time for Bruce Hornsby, and he was fucking fantastic. I loved his drum beats in the first album from Bruce Hornsby, and the second album, especially Scenes from the South Side. It's incredible work, man. And so I kind of memorized all the drum stuff from all those songs on both of the albums or cassettes because I was such a massive fan of. He's a Virginia boy. This is my music, you know, what I grew up in. And so when I went to see him at a concert at the Patriot Center at George Mason University way back in, I think, 89,
Mm-hmm.
I drove down, got there at like 3 a.m. to get in line, to get tickets. I got a ticket, got front row, right a little bit off the middle, but the whole time I was the annoying asshole who was like playing his legs along with the drums, and then, you know, at times doing it with my hands and shit. Like, so, because I was there by myself, I didn't go with anybody, so it was, you know, it was a full concert. At the end of the concert, John Molo came down, pointed his finger at me. I came up to the stage and he gave me his drumsticks because apparently he'd noticed me doing it the whole fucking concert. So that meant the world to me. And I don't know if he thought I was a drummer or if he thought, well, this idiot is, I mean, he clearly is obsessed with my drumming. So why not give him something? And I kept those drumsticks for a long, long time. They somehow got lost in a move way back years ago, and I've never been able to find them since. But I used to carry them around in my backpack and shit. Like, it was cool, you know? And so that's my only real drum story that I have. So did that jog your memory about anything?
Is there any part of you that thinks that was him alerting the security staff to let you backstage? You know what I mean? For a little intimate meet and greet like they do? Wink, wink.
He didn't give me a pass or anything or point me to anybody.
Yeah, but that's how, like, they know, you know, you hear stories of bands back in the day and they would call out people that they'd like to invite backstage. Maybe him handing you the drumsticks.
Was that indicated?
Like to get to know this fine gentleman a little bit more.
No, he's a great. I was so mad when Hornsby dropped the range. Like, he kind of went off and went solo and got other band, like Prince did. You know, when he dropped the Revolution and then got the new Power Generation or whatever, or went solo on his own. Like, I always hated that he dropped Mullah because I thought Mullah was a great fucking drummer. And so, you know, but yeah, I mean, that was a cool situation. That was a cool little moment. And I remember yelling out Bruce's name one time at a Wizards game. He was like 10 rows ahead. We had been there with a couple of friends of mine. I go, Bruce. He looks up and he's like, he thought it was somebody who knew him. And he looks up and he's like, hey. Oh, and he goes, oh, yeah, hi, yeah. And he sat down.
I thought you were going to say you did the Bruce and you're looking away, like behind you as well. Like, who said that? Who said that?
I should have.
Son of a bitch. I don't know. My name's Bruce as well.
Really odd.
So I was.
Wait, aren't you Bruce?
Hey, but you're like a famous Bruce, though, right?
Yeah, right. Is there a seat next to you?
yeah. Is this the Bruce section? I'm Bruce as well. I'm Bruce Trumpetsby. So it's nice to meet you.
Yeah. You know, I was considering he was coming back to Wolf Trap, I think next week with Sean Colvin. And I was considering flying home when they announced it earlier this year and like seeing my mom and then maybe seeing them. Because I saw Sean at Wolf Trap and I loved it. So, but then I just found out 2 days ago that like half of his fucking people got COVID. So they canceled the concert. So thank God I didn't like go through with all that expense just to see them play one more time at Wolf Trap.
Does he not tour out here?
Yeah, he does. It's not the same though. Wolf Trap I just love Wolf Trap, man. That's one of my favorite places there in Virginia to go see a concert. It's just so chill and it's open aired and it's people
Is
are
it
so
at Busch
cool.
Gardens or something? Like why Wolf Trap?
Oh, fuck Busch Gardens. What are you talking about?
I went once as a kid. I loved it. I was a kid.
Yeah, as a kid, sure.
Well, compared to on that same trip, we also then went to Williamsburg.
Oh,
That's fun as a child.
churning the butter.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So Busch Gardens looked like heaven compared to ye old boring times.
I remember going out on a field trip a couple times to Williamsburg.
Oh, I'm sure.
Annoying as hell, dude. Annoying as hell.
At least you're not in class.
True, I guess. But yeah. So it was pretty cool. Those are all my drum stories. What about you? You got any? Did jog your memory for anything more?
I mean, I don't have anything like that where I got drums. I mean, I like saw a snare drum blow out. Like I got nothing in regards to that. It could be one of those things of we in recording and then I remember, but right this moment, no, I do not. But you know, Steve, what kind of kit you play? How many pieces is it? What are you rocking with, man?
Yeah, man.
Are you a Zildjian guy? Do you go like what cymbals are you using? We'd love to know.
Yeah,
we'd love to know.
Maybe send us a minute of your best stuff, and maybe we'll play it on one of the Topic Thunders and critique it. That could be a lot of fun. I'm not promising anything. I'm saying maybe.
Critique seems strong considering we don't play drums, so it's
yes, but we can point out if we hear something really good. that we enjoy, I feel like we can do that.
For sure. I don't know how much of a criticism that is, other than I liked it.
This was really good.
Exactly. How in-depth the criticism is that? Have you ever seen the drumming grandma?
No, what?
Well, I know you're on TikTok, and she got started on TikTok.
Oh, really? Oh, shit. No, I haven't seen
She's like in her 70s or 80s, and she crushes.
I got to see that.
But I saw a couple, because YouTube has their version of TikTok.
Yeah.
And I saw it there, and then she was also on Drumeo as well. And she was playing, I want to say Down with the Sickness.
Okay.
She's good, though. The first video I saw of her is playing triplets, and it's fucking, I could probably find it right now.
Holy shit.
Because it's drumming grandma, and then.
She's on TikTok? Well, we can't. I don't think we can play it, can we? Because we'll get in trouble. I don't know.
Well, I don't know that there's any real copyright because she's just playing triplets. But here, I'd send it to you in the private chat.
Okay.
There you go. The YouTube clip of it.
Let's see here.
It's entitled, if anybody wants to look it up, Last Kitchen Exercise for 2019.
Okay, the new year is almost here. This will be my link is on the right.
Talks too much. Get to it, girl.
Well, you fast forward a little bit, but the triplets are really impressive.
Holy shit. Look at her.
Oh, dude, she gets going so quick.
I messed up.
Oh!
Reminds me of how much wood could a woodchuck chuck for woodchuck could chuck wood.
Tell him, Granny. That's awesome. Look at that. 27,000 views. Shout out to her. Dorothy Taylor, DT Drummer Lady. There you go.
Actually, I think it's the doubles that might be more impressive.
We should do Funk Rock Groove. Look at this. I gotta watch her. I might slip down this wormhole and watch what she's got.
Actually, here you go. Watch this one. This one's even more impressive on the doubles.
Okay. This is great radio.
It is great radio, but you can follow along. So this one's called Grandma Shows How to Play Doubles.
Oh!
Yeah, she starts just flying when she gets into it.
Wow. Look at that.
Yeah. She's in her 70s.
This is incredible.
And you're like, just. So then I saw that, and then you can find her playing like heavy metal songs.
Oh, my God.
And
if I was a rock guy, I would find a way to bring her on for like a song. That's fucking awesome. Look at that. Holy shit. All right. Stuff in my brain goes crazy. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Get it, girl. Get it. Sorry. Get it, Grandma. I appreciate that. All right. Well, let's take a quick break, right, Matt, here, before we get into our second question. This is what we're doing now, folks, on the Topic Thunder in order to get some ads on the show. So we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back right after this. All right. We're back here. Matt, you've got our next question. Thanks to Steve Smith for that last one. What do we got?
Thank you, sir. Sorry, I had to write something down real quick. Our next question comes from Tim Williams. And he says, "G'day, blokes. Hope you guys are well, fellas. As you may or may not remember, I'm a huge Phoenix Suns fan. Parenthetically, I think you can see where this is going.
Right.
Gotta say that Game 7 is my top 2 sporting heartbreaks of all time. The other being an Aussie Rules football heartbreak by my Bombers in 1999. But what is your biggest sporting heartbreak of all time? Thanks heaps, blokes. Hooroo. Timothy R. Williams."
Blokes.
Biggest sporting heartbreaks. What do you got?
Let's take a moment first, though, man. Do you think the Suns are done? Do you think this was it?
Well, they're going to let Ayton walk.
That's insane.
I don't, well, unless they can find a sign and trade. He's going to be a restricted free agent.
Right.
Worst case for them is he takes the qualifying offer and then just becomes an unrestricted free agent next year, and they're screwed.
I feel like last year or this year really was their window, and they blew it against a Mavs team that had no business beating them in a series. And I don't know if this was like the last gasp of Chris Paul playing at this level, even with all the vegan diets and all. The body eventually can't do it anymore. And I wonder if maybe this was it, and now the window is going to start to close. And nothing tells me that the window might be closing than Kendall Jenner breaking up with Devin Booker.
Oh, dude.
That tells me then it's over.
Unsurprising. The curse of the Kardashians continues. Just be thankful you didn't end up in rehab, man.
Or with Tristan Thompson being talked about on their show constantly in a negative.
Well, because Tristan can't keep his dick in his pants. That's Tristan's problem.
I mean, something tells me Chloe ain't that faithful either, for God's sake. So I don't know.
Could be the case. I don't have the slightest clue. I just know about
Tristan's. A show called
Tristan's.
The Thompsons where you can see, Chloe cheating on him too. I don't know.
True. And so coming into the playoffs, everybody was anointing Booker. He got a first team All NBA selection, and if that was kind of your team is so good, somebody needs to be represented here.
Right.
So why not it be you? And then you watch him and you're like, that game 7 was pathetic.
There was no leadership from him at all.
No, if you're supposed to be this killer, this next generation killer, I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
And that just even further like I was trying to sell myself on Booker can do this.
Yeah.
Because he shows flashes, but basically he's like kind of on a Tatum-esque trajectory where it's yes and no, although Tatum can play make more than he can.
Yeah.
But yeah, that had to be rough. Plus, New Orleans picking 2 games off of you when they had no right to do that. This was a sub 500 team. Yeah. And they got 2 games from you. And it looked like there was a glimmer there. But they got a shot at winning this. And you were leaps and bounds the best team in the league this year.
I think that shook them. I think it shook them that New Orleans.
You're probably right.
Could take 2 off of them and threatened really closely to take a third one off of them. I think it shook their confidence. And instead of understanding that to be a champion, sometimes you got to survive that first round scare, and that actually kind of galvanizes you, they mentally kind of questioned themselves and fell apart a little bit against these Mavericks. I mean, they were a good team. Don't get me wrong. The Mavericks were a good team. Doncic is fantastic, but they weren't world beaters. And it wasn't like LeBron and the scrubs, Doncic ain't LeBron. Yeah. So to me, it was just odd that they couldn't figure out a way to short circuit this guy. And I start to remember that Monty was a coach of that Charlotte team that really kind of tanked it for a number of years as well, or didn't do well for a number of years as well. So was this a 1-season anomaly that they got to the finals? Or is this going to be a repetitive success? And especially as you said, like if they're getting rid of Ayton, and I said, is Paul getting close to the end here? What do they have in the coffers to kind of replace, in terms of players, replace what they've got on the team now? And I don't see anything because the West is only getting stronger.
The West is with returning health. Yeah, of a couple teams. It's like this is going to be really interesting.
Yeah, they could have been the Rockets, where, Jordan goes out for 2 years to play baseball, whatever, comes back that second year. He's not quite 100% yet. And you sneak in and you get those finals victories, right? Yeah. They could have done that over these 2 years where the Golden State Warriors were still figuring their shit out, waiting for Klay to come back. Now, I really don't see anybody unseating the Warriors at this point anytime soon, especially because they got their young guys coming up right behind the dudes they have now who are like getting game time and minutes and playing excellent. So
we'll see. I mean, there has to be a point at which the salary cap means something to Joe Lacob. Yeah. They're going to be paying like $400 million in salary once you get into the penalty because they're going to pay for Gary Payton.
Yeah.
And I would be somewhat surprised if they didn't pay for Looney as well, unless Looney just gets godfathered by somebody.
Right.
Because there are teams that are going to have interest in him.
Yeah.
But he may want to stay. I don't know. Right. But yeah, this team is. Are they the odds-on favorite to win the championship? It's a long season. Injuries and everything else are going to have big determining factors. But Klay with an entire offseason of being fully healthy and with the team, he should come back a little bit better than he was.
Yeah,
and they're going to be interesting. I mean, we feel for you.
Yeah.
On the Phoenix front. I mean, thankfully for my teams, whenever they've genuinely been in it, we've pretty much won it.
Yeah, true.
So the only heartbreaks like Derrick Rose getting hurt.
Yeah.
That killed me just because we looked like the one team that could upset the Heat.
Yeah.
And if we can take down the Heat, then we could win a championship. That crushed me.
Yeah.
But beyond that, it's just like, I never believed it when the Bears got to the Super Bowl. It always seemed fluky outside of 85.
Yeah.
It was always our defense and like, can our offense score any kind of points? Well, it's always a question.
Yeah.
So personally, thankfully, I haven't had to suffer through too many of those. Usually, it's just like if they were an underachieving team. I've never been in the situation where the Suns were this year, where they were, head and shoulders above everybody else and then fumbled it.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
Yeah. I mean, I know that experience being a Capitals fan since the 1980s. We have just perennially, except for that one year we won the finals against the Vegas Golden Knights a few years ago, we have perennially shat the bed and choked and underperformed in the playoffs. I mean, just almost every year. You can set your clock to it. So I got so used to it as a kid that it no longer is heartbreak. It's more like a surprise if we win a series or two in the playoffs. So it's just a big mojo. Kornheiser used to call it, for the Bullets, he would call it the curse of Les Boulets. And I think the same thing applies to the Capitals, and I think he did name it something as well as a curse for the Capitals because we couldn't do shit. So there was never heartbreak because, after the first time, you just kind of get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the two heartbreaking moments were with Liverpool years ago when we were set to win the title and Steven Gerrard slipped against Chelsea. And I can't remember the player who took the ball down and scored the goal, and that essentially cost us the title. And then we went and bottled it against Crystal Palace, which caused Luis Suarez to come off the field crying, like just waved, like Tom Hanks in fucking Private Ryan crying, just crying, because that was his chance to win a title with Liverpool. And then he left, and so that just this Gerrard slip, because I mean, the guy Gerrard was our captain. He was our talisman. He was just the leader of the team. For it to be him who slips in that critical moment for, I think Mo Bamba, I can't remember the guy's name who took the ball to go and score. It just was fucking devastating. Yeah. I mean, I think that's probably the biggest one that I can think of. Because, I mean, the Redskins losing to the Raiders, that really sucked, of course. But I was fucking, I don't know, I was 9 years old, 10 years old. It sucked. But
yeah,
I didn't understand heartbreak until that moment with Gerrard. Like, I was despondent. I mean, for fucking days, I was despondent because I just was like, why? Why would the universe punish a man who gave so much to our club? We were perennially bridesmaids and never the brides in the Premier League. And why would he punish him in this way when he's a good family man, cares about the city, could have gone to other clubs and never did, stayed with us? Why would the universe punish him in this way and punish us in this way? So it was just those kinds of thoughts that were in my head that, like, for days, man, I just could not figure it out. But yeah, I think that's the biggest one. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else like with the Skins. No, I mean, you win or lose. Those are always tough games. Losing to Dallas always sucked. But yeah, I can't think of anything like that where we were like, it was there and we just absolutely fucking blew it,
Yeah, thankfully. I mean, I've witnessed where it was amazing because I just like the moment, and then you think of it from the other team's perspective, and you're like, that's got to be brutal.
Yeah.
Like the Kawhi quad bouncer.
Oh, my God.
A Sixers fan? Because I think if they go to overtime, Sixers win that game.
Oh, absolutely. They were on the momentum was all on their side, dude. You're right.
It was amazing. I screamed. I was like, oh my, because I just want to see a good game. I don't care.
Yeah. Right.
Ultimately, unless I really don't like a team, but that's pretty rare. Or that Saints Vikings game, the Vikings ended up winning. And Saints didn't get that pass interference call.
Yeah.
Where the receiver just got rocked. And then
the missed tackle.
Yeah, right in front of the ref. And you're like, how is that not? And then the missed tackle on Diggs as he's in the air. And it was that was a beautiful play. But if I'm a Saints fan, I'm like, oh my fucking God.
Yeah.
We had this.
I think the Saints would have given the Patriots a much better Super Bowl.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. Jared Goff had no business in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Top 10 worst quarterbacks in the Super Bowl. Goff has got to be in the top 5. Next to Grossman.
You think so?
Oh, next to Grossman? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Grossman sucked. Dilfer.
Oh, yeah, Dilfer.
Manning's last Super Bowl.
Listen, you can make a case for Eli Manning, even though he won both those Super Bowls, one of the worst quarterbacks to be in a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but he played well in the Super Bowl.
He played well in the Super Bowl. Yes, you can argue that. So
it's a weird thing.
It's a strange anomaly, man. Just a strange fucking anomaly. Brad Johnson beat Rich Gannon. Rich Gannon, decent quarterback, but not
both of those guys, though. Brad Johnson and Rich Gannon.
Fucking, he won
average quarterbacks.
2 years after he left the Redskins, he won a fucking title with the fucking Buccaneers. I can't say Commanders, man. I can't until I don't know why I can't say it. I don't know
because the name sucks. That's why.
I apologize to everybody.
Is it better than the old name? Sure.
Yes, absolutely.
But the WFC was awesome.
Yeah, WFT was great. The Washington football team, that was good. I would have.
Yeah, WFT or whatever. That I agree with 100%. Commanders, of all the ranks and insignia to give, like to choose from.
Yeah.
Because I get it, like a president, commander in chief. Sure.
Yeah.
And maybe you didn't want to say admirals versus generals because you didn't want. Well, first off, Washington Generals, you can't. That'd be a good one, though. But maybe you don't want to give favor to one branch of the service over the other.
But the commanders is a Navy thing, so they did do that. There's no commanders in the Army, so I feel like it kind of did.
Well, I think but I think it's commander in chief they could point to.
Yeah, true. Ooh, Neil O'Donnell. Oh,
yeah, another bad one.
Neil O'Donnell's horrible.
And they can't go the Chiefs because there's already a Chiefs taken, and it'll remind people of their former name. But with like the Joint Chiefs, it could work. But at the same time, Commanders is no bueno.
I think Warriors still would have been. That's just me. All right, that's a good. I think it's a good stopping point. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Timothy Williams, for that question. Thank you to Steve Smith for that question. We appreciate it madly. And remember, you guys who are $5 and above in our Patreon, you can send in questions, thoughts, and comments. And we're getting a little low, so start sending them in. Hey, it's summer, which means the kids are out of school. You're home a lot, I'm assuming, and you can write questions. So send us some questions, thoughts, and comments as we go along here. Send us some brackets. Send us some fun ideas for topics that you want us to discuss here on the show. Nothing is off the table. Could be food, could be drummers, could be quarterbacks, could be anything. Just send us what you want to talk about. Matt, anything to say?
You can follow the show at Top 10 Show, all spelled out. Otherwise, on Instagram and YouTube is / The Top 10 Podcast with the number 10. So please hit us up. We'd love to have you. And you can follow me anywhere at Matt Nost.
You can follow me at The Roca Says. Oh, yeah, you'll take care of yourself. Oh, my God, my mouth got. Oh, y'all take care of yourselves. Be well. And we'll talk to you next time with another brand new episode of Topic Thunder.